Hey, this is Garrett, and this has been a requested video of mine, a full-on tutorial of the Alien game. For this one, we're going to do it from a survivor's perspective. There are two roles in this game. You have survivor and monster. They're very different, I would say. So basically, if you are a survivor, your main purpose is to hide and escape. You can't really kill the monster. It's not possible. You can use guns to stun it, but your main goal is to hide and evade until you can escape. So we're gonna go through like a step-by-step tutorial of the best way to do that and your options, I suppose. All right. So when the game starts, you'll have a multitude of spawning choices. I would recommend the bridge because you get close access to the elevator and there's two objectives nearby. Ship defense is probably good because normally guns spawn down there. So let's just go to the bridge. All right, so we'll just go over there right now. I'm in spectator mode just so it's a little bit easier to give you a tutorial. All right, so this is the bridge. So in the Alien game, there's two ways you can escape. You can escape on one of the three escape pods, or you can activate the dropship. So this objective board over here displays only one of those two ways you can escape, the escape pods. So you have to go through each of these objectives in the ship and follow them. And then there's a waiting period. It's about 20 to 15 minutes before you can use the escape pods. All right, so we're going to walk you through each of these objectives here. So the first one is the AI core, plotting the course. So there's an AI core on the second floor. Well, we'll go to the map. Um, it should be right. Yep, SciTech Bay, right here, level 2. So what you would do is you would go out and you would use the elevator. It's right down here. You can use the stairs too. They're all the way at the end of this hall here. You click on living level and you just go down there. It's right across the hall here. This big computer room. Take a right here. Another right. It'll be right at the top of the stairs here. Now this is one of the trickier ones because this has an alarm attached to it. So if you activate this, the monster's going to know exactly where you are. So how do you negate this alarm, you may ask? Well, I'll show you that later. Watch the alien because he's going to be skulking around here somewhere. You got to run all the way back here. Oh, right. This will be open once you've done that, stood on the pressure plate for a while, and yep. And you have to enter the AI core through this vent here. Here's the AI core. This is where the AI is. You go in here, press this button, and that's another objective for you. So there you go. All right, let's head up there. Bridge is this way. All right, our next objective are we have to establish our coordinates, where we're going, and that's in communications. Um, Thankfully, it's right across the bridge here. That's why I was saying you'd spawn the bridge, because you get two easy objectives there. It's right in here. Just run up here, and you press the button. Now, the thing about some of these objectives is that they have a lockdown attached to them. So you press that button, the door's going to close, and you're trapped in here um, with an alarm saying that you're in here trapped with a lockdown. So the monster's probably going to come after you. If you have someone in the bridge, they can relieve the lockdown right over here. Yep, you just hit communications and the lockdown is lifted. It's easy. Alternatively, if everyone else is dead and you're on communications last, which, good luck, I guess. There's a key card you can find, place it in there, and you don't even have to worry about pressing the button or the lockdown. You just place it in there and the objective's done. All right, while we're in here, we're going to show you how to disable that alarm in AI core. Just going to go to the data input center down here, just a bunch of computers. And there's a door around here which leads us into a room. Somewhere around here. Right here. You press this button, and this activates a little room on the bridge. It allows you in it. So you just go over back to the bridge, all the way down to the second floor. So this door should be open if you press that button. And there is a pressure plate here. Stepping on this pressure plate will deactivate the alarm and the AI core. FYI. Alright, we'll go up to our next objective now. Our next objective. Engine started. So this is all the way down in the spooky basement. I designed it that way. It is very spooky. Utility bay. You go to the staircase. That's probably going to take you a while. There is another way through the greenhouse, but that's kind of a secret. You can go discover that secret for yourself, I suppose. You click the utility level, and you go all the way down to the spooky, scary basement right here. You're going to head all the way down to the utility bay, which is this way, in the store, and you're just going to take a straight right all the way down to the proton engine, where you hit the button. Now, a similar feature is that you have the option of not hitting the button by inserting the keycard here. This also has a lockdown similar to communications, so you also have to worry about that as well. All right, so that one's pretty easy too. We'll go up back to the bridge, all the way back to the elevator. We will ascend. One more. All right, back on the bridge. All right. So our very last one is on the bridge here. This is the second one I was talking about, why you should spawn on the bridge. Because it's right here. There's no strings attached. You just hit this button and you're on your way. It should say hyperdrive engaged, and you are simply zooming through space. Now this is where the waiting period kicks in. It's about 20 to 15 minutes of waiting before you reach your target. So what's the challenge in waiting for this long? You can shut the door here, closes. So you can just stay in here, you're safe, right? Wrong. You run out of power. You can't close this door if the power's gone. Also, if you run out of oxygen, the vents open up. So you can't stay in this room forever. So we're going to show you kind of... Also, there's an event called the Meteor Strike, which destroys some of your escape pods. So we're going to look at those three and show you how to take care of those. First one is the oxygen. So if you run out of oxygen, your character's going to start breathing, even if you're hiding. That's going to affect just how quickly the monster finds you. He's going to hear you breathing. Who's ever hunting you? That's a new feature I added recently. Also, these vents open up here. There's a lot more vents that open up. The monster could travel through the spaceship easier, potentially finding you easier. Also, the bridge isn't safe anymore. So you do want to take care of your oxygen. We'll show you how to do that. So just go all the way down here. It's kind of a walk through the greenhouse. It's kind of photosynthesizing all the oxygen, I guess. I don't know. You go, oh, I guess we took a wrong turn. Go all the way down here. You sit on this pressure plate for about a minute and 10 seconds. This light should pop on. And you head all the way in here. And you hit this button, and your oxygen should fill straight back up. You don't have to worry about it anymore. So, this has an alarm on it. There is a key card for this. You place in here. You step on this pressure plate without that key card, it's gonna ping you. So the monster's gonna know where you are. Is gonna know you're filling up oxygen. So find that key card. It has a random spawn location in the ship. So keep an eye out. All right. We'll just head back here. All right. The next one on our list is the power. So you're gonna keep your power up. So the difference between oxygen and power is that it requires fuel. You just can't sit on a pressure plate. You gotta go throughout the ship and find nuclear fuel. It's just skulk, but it says nuclear fuel on it. You know, that's clever, right? So if your power runs out, all the lights turn in. All these bright lights they turn into magma blocks. So it's dark. You can't really see too well. Um, Also, the security doors stop working. There's several doors like this throughout the ship. They don't work anymore. Um, yeah. What was it? Okay, power. Just so we set the scene, you know. Another thing about the power is that once you hit 100 power, the doors start working. They stop working, and the elevator will stop working. You'll get like a bar right here, and you can't use it. So you got to use the staircase. She'll show you now. Where you find nuclear power? There's several locations you can find it. It's not hard to find. Um, there's a vault in the hospital that has enough fuel to last you 3 games. So if you decide to go to the hospital, you'll find a lot there. It just requires a few tasks to complete. So you're in the waiting game right now. You're just kind of hiding, running around from the monster, and you're running out of power. You just go down here, all the way down here, and you're like, this is where you're supposed to go, fusion core. But the door's locked. How do you unlock this door, you may ask? Well, let me show you. It's kind of a process. You go back up these stairs to the second floor, but this door's locked too. This is the loading bay. This is where you get the opportunity to unlock these doors. You got to go through this little tiny vent here. Don't miss it. All the way up these stairs into this room. Wait, did I forget where it is? It's somewhere in here. I forgot where it is. Oh yeah, here it is. So this is where you get. Nope, that's not right. It's somewhere in here. Goodness. Oh, it's in here. Goodness gracious. Yep. The security door room key card. So what does that unlock, you may ask? Well, let's go back up to the bridge and see. So you'll see a lot of those copper doors throughout the ship. Those are very useful because you can use those as like mini security doors, just like these. So they're categorized. So you just go down here and you unlock it with that key card. Just go right in here. So you hide behind any of those doors, you just close it, and chances are the monster's gonna have a hard time finding you in there. It's like a mini security door. So you find which one you gotta open, the fusion core. So you open that, go all the way down here again. I'm not gonna take the stairs again. I'm not gonna torture you guys. To the generator. Hopefully you haven't lost power yet. This is where you will put your nuclear fuel. Um, you put too much, well, yep, you just fill it up to the top, and then you have power. Now, if you run out of power, and you're putting nuclear fuel, and you're like, oh, why is the power turning on? You gotta reset it from the bridge. So you gotta go all the way back up here. Um, right over here, and you gotta hit power reset. So don't run out of power. It's a bad idea. All right, so we've covered power, oxygen. We got one more, the meteorite strike. That is also on the bottom floor. So let's go down here again. Back to the fusion generator, so we kind of have a point. It's all the way down here in ship defense. You're gonna cross one of these security checkpoints. I'll explain that in a bit. To ship defense, and there will be sirens blaring. You'll get a notification telling you that there's an asteroid strike imminent. There should be 2 or 3 in a game. Come over here, you hit this button, and it's all good. You don't have to worry about losing an escape pod. Because if it succeeds, you will lose an escape pod, and you don't want to lose an escape pod. So yeah, those are kind of the events that happen throughout the waiting game. So you had to deal with all that stuff while dealing with a bloodthirsty alien who is using the vents to his advantage, can kill you in one hit, and is pretty dangerous altogether. Who has a super sprint if he sees you. So how do you deal with this guy? Well, you deal with him like any other American would. You use guns, shotguns, revolvers, and luckily there are a few guns on the ship. Let me show you where they spawn. Alright, so spawn locations for guns are going to be the security centers, the security detail on the second floor. I'll just go through and show you where they spawn. So, one of the spawn locations for the shotgun and the revolver is the HSS office in here. The shotgun should spawn right in these desks here, and the revolver should spawn right back here. Now, there's a chance that they won't spawn. There's always a chance they won't spawn. You can spawn with all the revolvers and shotguns, or you can spawn with none of them. There's a chance. All right. Now we'll go down to the security on the second floor. You can take this door, this staircase if this door's open down here, and the security should be right down here. Now this has a few layers to it. You go all the way down here, and you have to open this door using the technique I showed you. So the secure lockup. This is also a lockdown feature. So you hit this whole facility locks down, and you have to have someone on the bridge relieve it. Or you can use a key card if you found a security key card. So you do both those things, and chances are you're going to find guns in here, both the shotgun and the revolver, as well as a chest full of key cards. You know, the ones I've been showing you throughout the ship, the locations for those. All right, and the final spot where you'll find any weapons is on the basement floor, all the way down here. You just go all the way down. It's going to be back at ship defense. You go down this corridor. You take a right. The internal security, and you go to boarding equipment. There's a little vault here, so you might get key cards here. You might get a shotgun and a revolver. It just depends. What you have to do is stand on this pressure plate for a little bit of time, and once you've done that, you should hear a clicking sound, and the door should have unlocked. Hopefully, you'll find some guns in here too. So those are the guns. What do the guns do? They stun the monster for about 10 seconds, stunning and blinding. So you can run away and he can't even see where you go. So you can like say he's running down this corridor, I shoot him, I can run around here. Um, 10 seconds, 10 seconds is a long time, and I can hide under one of these desks. It's a good tool, especially when you're cornered. Now, the thing about the revolver, or the shotgun, he can still attack you if you get close enough. So you run up, you're cornered, you can't really escape. If you run up to him, he will kill you, so do not get too close. Alright, so let's go back up to the bridge. So you have your guns, you kind of have a defensive plan. What happens if you get run out of the bridge? The monster's in here, he's kind of attacking you. Is there any other safe places you can go? Sort of. So there's two other security doors similar to it. There's one in the hangar bay. It's right here. You can shut this up and he can't really get into here unless the power goes out. And there's one by ship defense too. So you go all the way down here. And you can lock yourself in here and you can be totally safe. He can't get you in here. It's kind of like a backup plan just in case you get run out of the bridge. The bridge is a very important room though, so I would always keep it kind of secure. Alright. So your waiting game's over, you waited your time. Most of you are alive, but some of you aren't. Some of you are dead. Can you bring people back? Well, I asked the question, so obviously the answer is yes. It was a rhetorical question. You can bring people back using the cryo bay. It is all the way down here on the basement. Cryo bay, so basically you have like a frozen dinner crew. They're all iced up. Um, it's just it respawns basically. You can do it once. I'll show you how to do that. So you take the elevator all the way down to the basement floor, all the way down here. You go towards ship defense, and it should be like a whitewashed room to the right here. Now there's three. Well, let me just show you where you have to go first. Down here to the cryo tanks. This is where your frozen dinner crew are stored. Fresh, frozen, straight for the monster. So here are your objectives for bringing your crew back, your dead crew. Coolant tanks filled, injectors calibrated, and habitation gases charged. So I'll walk you through that. You go down here, all the way down here, and you stand here to fill the coolant tanks. It's instant. You just have to stand on it once, and that objective will be done. The next one is over here. Prime injectors. You just press this, and you have to wait a minute before that's done. And the final one is all the way down here. This one requires a little more effort. You got to actually stand on this pressure plate as it fills habitation gases. So those are your 3 objectives. Once you've done all those, your crew is ready to be brought back. Now, very important note, if your crew wants to be back, they have to be in spectator mode. You can enter spectator mode once you've died. If they want to be brought back, they have to be in spectator mode. So what we do is once these are all lit up, I showed you how to do that, press this button, bada bing, bada boom, your crew should all spawn back here. Now, I would get out of here probably as soon as possible since everyone's grouped up in an unsafe location. Just kind of run out, I suppose. All right, so your crew's brought back. All of your escape pods are left, and you're ready to get out of here. You're ready to escape that monster. You're ready to go. Where are the escape pods? How do you get out of here? Let me show you where they are. So the first one is down here on the basement floor, all the way down here in the airlock. It's got a security checkpoint, so it's a little harder than the first one. You go down here, and you have to stand on this pressure plate till all of these um, redstone lamps light up. You go in the escape pod, press it, escape. Now, be very careful that once you press this button, your entire crew's in here. Because once you press this button, no one else can enter the escape pod to escape. It is gone. Alright, just keep that in mind. Gotcha? Alright, so that's probably the second easiest one. The easiest one is the first to go from the asteroid event. It's up here on the hangar bay. So this is the easiest one. It's the easiest to get to. There's no really security precautions on it. So just stand here, ready this one up. Like I said, this is the first one to get destroyed by the asteroid event, so make sure you're doing that. And now the last one and hardest one is in living quarters. So in order to do the living quarters escape pod, you have to get a special keycard for it. The keycard for that is in hospital. I will show you where that is. It's right down here in the offices. Should be in Dr. Hope's office, right? Yeah, it's this chest. Yep, you just grab this key card for the living quarters escape pod, and you venture back down there. You know where the elevator is at this point. You can just take that. You go down to the second floor, and you head all the way down here to the living quarters. Of course, you can check the map too. I will bring that up again. You head over here to utilities, crew members only. Take a left here. You insert the key card. And once you press this button, there's no going back because anyone in this room will be trapped. There is no escaping living quarters once that button is pressed. So inserting the key card, it will get rid of the glass. Press the button. You can just, I will show you what the escape pod is. So it will put you into an emergency state. So it will state that living quarters is in lockdown and that there's an evacuation going on here. So that will probably summon the alien to your location. It'll probably be breathing down your necks. So you want to be booking it to the escape pod as fast as you can. Now, if this door is still closed, there's 2 ways you can get past it. There's a vent here, and there's also a vent up here. You can bypass it with those stairs too, if you want to. So you head down here, take a left. You head up to the escape pod. These should be flashing. You head all the way down here. You step on the plate, and you escape. Now, there's a little cheat you can do. It's a key card. It's called the Captain's Key Card. And instead of sitting here like a sitting duck, waiting for the alien to come rip your intestines out, you can instantly escape using the Captain's Key Card. It's a black black key card. It's glazed black terracotta, is what it is, and it spawns somewhere around the ship. So I will show you where you would start that if you find that. Back here on the bridge. So that is a free ticket out. No waiting around. You can use that key card to escape. So what you do with that key card is you place it on any one of these that you want an instant escape on. It is absolutely necessary with the third one because once that emergency lockdown goes out, that alien's gonna be booking it towards living quarters, so you're gonna want that on there. Um, Also, the third one's the only one that can't be destroyed by an asteroid. These two can absolutely be destroyed by an asteroid, so just be careful. I use that captain's key card. That is a very important part of the game. So let me explain some of the other features you can use, kind of tracking the alien. So this is the vent flow, airflow obstruction. Um, if the alien, there's pressure plates in the vents, and if it steps on it, one of these will be tagged. You'll get a pinging sound, and it will light up. So this kind of tells you where the alien is in the ship, if he's in the vents. Lockdown controls. You know what lockdown is. You use these to lift the lockdown. Now these can be very helpful if you kind of memorize where they're at. These are temporary shield doors. So let's say you're in cargo hold, the alien's chasing you, and you're like, bridge, activate the cargo hold shield door, please, please, please. And you just hit that, and you get a barrier. You get 10 seconds to run. On top of the gun, if you shoot the alien, activate the barrier, that's 20 seconds. So that's a lot of time for you. 20 seconds to hide. Another way you can keep track of the alien is going down to the cameras. Cameras are very useful. I fixed them this update, so they should be more than functional. You go down here. Let me demonstrate here. You press. That one's not working. I fixed them, I swear. Ah! Oh wait. I have to press. There we go. I just had to step on the pressure plate. I was in spectator mode. That's why it didn't work. So these can be very useful tracking locations around the ship. Use these; they're very, very good. I spent a lot of time with them. Please use them. All right. Um anything I'm missing? Oh, yep, security clearance. So if you walk over a certain those security checkpoints in the ship I showed you, it'll ping you. So if you press any of these buttons, that'll clear your right up, and you won't get that ping. The monster won't know where you're at. So monster tips. So the monster can't see 8 blocks in front of him. He's very blind. So you might think he sees you. He really doesn't. You know. Um. So also, once you run out of oxygen, you make noise too. So just be wary of that. He can hear you opening and closing doors. Here's a little tip. You'll hear the heartbeat of the monster as he approaches, but that heartbeat has a further radius than the radius he can hear doors close. So once you hear that, I would suggest immediately getting in a closet because you can hear that heartbeat and he can't hear your doors closing. It's like the perfect distance away. All right, let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Elevator, utility bay, stairs. I don't think I'm missing anything on the escape pod part. No. I think I'm good. Let me show you medical really quick because medical's a great place to find nuclear fuel for the generator. You unlock that door. See a lot of security precautions. You go down here, find a life support key card. You have to open that metal door from an office. Right here. That will also activate a lockdown. You can use a key card to prevent that, or you just hit the button. They'll activate a lockdown on top of everything else. So hospital has a lot of security, more security than security itself, which is a bit strange, I might add, but that's the way things go, I guess. All right. So next is the second way we escape, the drop pod, which I admit hasn't been used a whole lot, probably because it's one of the more complicated parts of the game, but I will make it simple now. I will explain it simply. Drop pod. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is find out where it is. So the drop pod is all the way down here, at the flight deck. Gotta go all the way down here, It's right here. So this is where you go once the drop pod's been activated. Let me show you how to activate the drop pod. It's a few steps, more than the escape pods, I will admit. But there's no waiting game. You can activate it at any time. You just have to have 2 people and some map knowledge. So let's go down to utility bay because that's kind of where you activate it first. You go down to utility bay. Should be a room around here. Yep, here you go. So this will tell you where all your objectives are for the drop pod. So it is kind of similar to the objectives on the bridge. It's just in a different place. So you have to hit all the fail safes, and you have to prime the dropship from communications. So I'll show you where the fail safes are, and I'll show you how to prime the dropship. So the first thing you're going to do is head up to communications. I already showed you where that is, so we're just going to zoom up there. Communications is right over here. So you're going to want to head up to the communications tower, take these stairs all the way up. Should be right over here. You step on this pressure plate till it beeps, and you see this light is turned on. And that's just basically priming the dropship. Now the fail safes, you saw those on the utility bay. I'm going to show you where all those are. The first one is down here in ship defense. Wrong way. Ship defense, all the way down here. You take it right into internal security, the defense grid, and the first one will be right here. So you'll see that these red panels, you can't hit the button once these are here. I'm going to show you how to activate these failsafe switches. This is just another step to activating the drop pod. Is you have to go all the way to the isolation bay. You have to open this door from the bridge, go in there, and you will need 2 people for this task. It is a double switch, so one person stands there and one person stands there. Once you do this, all that red glass will be deleted and you can press those buttons. So that's just another step to that. Make sure you do that. The second one is in AI core. We're going to zoom up there. Hope you're not getting dizzy. You go to AI core. You take a right, and it should be right in here. And now the last one is in hospital, actually. Hospital is very important. Also very creepy. It should be right down here in the emergency room C5. Just hit this button, and you're good to go. You're good to go back to utility bay. So let's go back there. We will zoom back here. So all these lights should be lit up, all your failsafes, and the dropship should be primed. Once you hit this button, there's no going back because the ship goes into a terminal self-destruct sequence. So it will blow up in about 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes to escape to get up to the flight deck. You hit this button, it's all going to crap. So sirens will be blaring, the lights will be flickering. You gotta make your way all the way back up to the flight deck, and just go over here. You can take the stairs right over here. This door will be open. You can just run down the hallway, hit the button, and you're safe. Or are you? If the alien also makes it to the dropship, he can terrorize you while you escape on it. So this is kind of like a mini Nova Prime. That's what the ship's called. So in order to launch the dropship, you gotta hit the launch dropship button, obviously, and you gotta have a timer here. This is a bit shorter than the one on the actual ship. This will count down a lot faster because there's less places to hide. Obviously, dropship moves a lot faster. So just hide until that timer's up. It will inform you when it's up. So what you do is you head back here to the airlock. Now there's 2 ways you can escape by the airlock. There's a button here. This is how you win the game, just by hitting this button. Or you can go through the vents. And there's a button right here, just to stop the monster from puppy guarding the exit. So yeah, that's a dropship for you. Let's make sure everyone's on by the time. Oh, you want everyone on before you launch it, because that will close up the doors and people won't be able to board. Very important detail there. Yeah, I think that's all. Some monster tips here. Just watch the vents. He can go like supersonic through the vents, so that's just one thing you want to watch. Um, Under desks, that's a good area to hide. So yeah, that's the Alien game for you. Those are the basics. Basics. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed. I hope I was a good commentary, and I hope you learned something from this tutorial on the Alien game. You guys have a great rest of your day, and stay safe. Bye-bye.